Hi. How you doing? Welcome to the replay. Welcome to Daily Fuel. Welcome to the Spiritual Artist Quantasy. My name is Bobby, and I am the host of this group. And this is my show. Welcome to my show. I do this every day except Sunday, right here in this group, only in this group. And if you're watching this in the replay, which I'm sure that you are, except for these two people, then do me a favor and let me know that you're here in the replay, and you can write hashtags. You can write hashtag replay, hashtag. I really should think of some. I always think of this as I'm saying it, and I was like, oh man, I haven't thought of any new hashtags recently. Hashtag replay person, hashtag I can't be the first commenter because I'm not even there. One of those things, and I judge them. I have fun. I read them and I judge them, and I have I have a little book, and when I write in it, like, oh, that was a good one by that. I don't have a book, but anyway, it's I like them. They're fun. I like to read them, and if you're joining live, if you're joining live, then you can start commenting now. Brandy is here. Hello, hello. You're the first commenter today, and Marcia is also here. Hello, Bobby. Hello, Marcia. How you doing? Nice to see you as well. So, if you're new to Daily Fuel, here's how it goes. I have the spiel. I'm gonna read it, not read it. It's not. I don't really read it. I have notes. Like this was yesterday's. I just have notes, things to remind me what the heck I wanted to say. I have ideas. I have thoughts. I have brain things, and I'm just like, there's so many of them. And then I gotta write them down to remind me. Otherwise, I forget, and I'll stand here not remembering what to say, and I'll just go off on tangents. That's why I do the spiel, actually. Otherwise, I would just go way off on tangents. This keeps me on topic. And then you guys can all comment, and I'm going to ignore the comments while I'm reading my spiel, and I'm going to come back to the comments when I'm done with that part, and then I'll read them, and I won't know what we were talking about, because your comments will have been from something I said like 5 or 10 minutes ago. So anyway, we're way past 2 minutes, so let's get started. Where's the beef? Do you remember that commercial? I just thought of that today because I was where's the beef? Do you remember that commercial? It was a Wendy's commercial with the old lady, and she opens it up, the old hamburger, and they're like, "Here's our hamburger." She's like, "Where's the beef?" Do you remember that? I might be dating myself. Anyway, if you remember that, you're laughing. If you don't remember that, then you're not. Probably you think I'm an idiot. So, or maybe you are laughing, but not for the right reason. Anyway, this is not about beef or cows or hamburgers or anything. And in fact, I did not spell beef incorrectly. It was an anagram I made up. An anagram? What's the initials that I made up today for what the heck does it mean? Oh, big enough, fast enough. And so you may remember, there's a lot of commotion going on here today, so I apologize if there's noise. You may remember a while back I was doing Dr. Joe's book. I was reading through his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, and I was practicing this process that he teaches in that book. It's basically about you have habits in your life, that programs that you've created that you just do on automatic a lot, and they're holding you back. We all have them. And his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, was about deprogramming that. And so months ago when I was reading the book and going through the exercises, I was kind of sharing my progress with you guys in Daily Fuel. Well, I'm happy to say that to a great extent it worked, because I don't do a lot of the same things that I used to do. The program really helped me out. And but I didn't like wipe the slate clean. Like, I still had some residual programming going on in there. And it's like, for example, back then I had things that would stress me out. They would just give me anxiety. They would stress me out, especially with about what I'm going to talk about today. Just thinking like this project that I'm working on, usually it was about business. This project just isn't going to work. Nobody's going to be into it. It's never going to happen, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Like those kinds of anxieties, whether they were warranted or not, usually not. So now today I worked through a lot of that programming that made me feel that way. And instead of, a lot of times I can be much more optimistic and much more in belief that the things that I'm working on will work. But I found that on occasion, I get into a state where I'm not really feeling stressed out and anxious, but I'm kind of feeling meh, a little meh, right? Little bit like this. I believe it's going to happen, but it's just taking too long. It's too slow. It's not enough. And the thing that I came up with today, I was working on my white. If you ever see me looking over here, I have whiteboards and I do my energy work. And a lot of times my energy work is writing on the whiteboards and talking to myself and figuring this stuff out before I talk to you about it. And a phrase that I wrote is, it's not big. It's not getting big enough. And then I wrote fast enough. It's not getting big enough, fast enough. BEFE, beef, right? And or beefy or whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's not getting big enough, fast enough. And I realized that, oh, well, interesting that would be the thing that's holding me back, because I'm worried about the size of it and the timing of it. And what are those? Those are the hows. That's the how and the when. And here I am thinking that, I've conquered this way of thinking. And it's like, wow, this is really sinister. It just kind of snuck in there. And now I'm not really stressed out pulling my hair out about it, but I am going like, I'm kind of feeling a little, what's the word? I'm kind of feeling a little agitated. I'm feeling a little angsty and buzzy about it. Not completely off the rails, but not completely on the rails either. So it got me thinking that the thing that really aggravated me about it the most was that I would try to hurry things along in an artificial way. I want to get to a place, and I believe I can get to that place, but I want to get there as quickly as I can. And in the olden days, I would just like throw caution to the wind and burn my bridges and say, this is what I'm doing now, and like open up a shop and whatever, and it was nuts. And now what I'm doing though is I'm taking my time and kind of working on it, but I'm feeling a little time pressure. I'm feeling a little crunch, and I'm wanting to sort of artificially bring this to maturity faster than it's ready to be brought. And I realize that there are different resources in this world, and in this game of life that we're playing. I don't have a 1, 2, 3 thing today, and it's kind of annoying me because I like my 1, 2, 3 thing. It keeps me on track. The thing I was realizing is that I'm looking for this thing to mature and give me the direct resources that I want. I have this thing, I put it out for sale, people buy it, I get direct resources. This thing is making me money, right? But I'm kind of building it on indirect resources. I'm putting time and energy into it. I'm building this group and things are happening, and the universe is stepping in and supporting me, but the resources are indirect. Indirect meaning it's not coming directly from this thing. The business hasn't launched and bloomed yet. I'm still building it. It's coming from other stuff, and the other stuff is all over the map. It's like I have this thing going on, I have that thing going on, and money came in over here. I just smacked my finger on my desk, and it's so it can get a little aggravating sometimes because they're not all the same. They're not constant. They're not stable. If it were direct and I had a business growth and a trend in growth and people doing the thing that I want them to do, then I'd be able to measure it and I'd be able to trend it. I'd be able to track it. I'd be able to project. But it's hard for me to project it this way. So what's happening is I'm trying to artificially bring this thing to maturity. And because it's artificial, I'm feeling about it. And that's kind of what I realized, is that I'm still in the building phase, and I have to be okay with being in the building phase, because first there's the building phase, and all of the resources that I'm getting in this phase are indirect resources. The universe is stepping in and supporting it. Then there's the launch phase, and the launch phase is going to be when I open it up and I start introducing this thing, and that's going to take some time. And then finally, it will reach a maturity phase where most of my income is coming directly from this business. But I'm not there yet, and I'm trying to artificially do it. And I think that we do that sometimes. We're trying to artificially get ourselves to a point that we can see in the future, but we're just not there yet, and we're trying to skip all the steps because they're boring or they're scary. And we can't do that. We can't do that. And today, my energy work was to just get comfortable being uncomfortable in this building phase. It's a little uncomfortable, but I need to be okay in it and trust that it's all going to work out. And it is. It is work. It's already been working out. I've been doing this work. I just had to remind myself of this. So I'm just going to go to the comments now and see what you guys are saying about this. I hope that I'm making sense. And let's see what we got. So Brandy says, hello, Marcia. And Amy says, hello, everyone. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Yep, I am. It's really, really nice here. It's finally spring. And Ray says, hi. How are you? I still don't have that button for you. Where's the beef? I know you know the commercial I'm talking about, right? Where's the beef? That Wendy's commercial. Amy, no, I don't remember the commercial because it didn't air in the UK. Really? Oh, that's too bad. It would have been in the... I think it was in the 80s. I think I was a kid. I remember it. Ray says the commercial is probably online somewhere. Well, yes, actually, that's true. Maybe if I think of it tonight, I'll find the YouTube link and I'll put it in the comments. Stephanie says, gonna have to catch the replay. The video keeps cutting out in my phone. Oh, that stinks. Yeah, that's not. I don't like when that happens. Karina says, sometimes I tell myself I'm just fine-tuning and I will grow bigger and faster with more patience. I'm glad you said fine-tuning. I'm really glad you said that because that's something that I've been working on a lot lately. I think I mentioned this once in a Daily Fuel about a week or so ago. I think last week I kind of mentioned something about this. The early days of me doing the Breaking the Habit stuff, the Dr. Joe Dispenza book, that was, you know what a microscope. Microscopes have two focusing knobs. The one is just a big focusing knob, just to kind of get the thing sort of clear. And then there's a fine-tuning focus knob where you can just sort of, it just moves it a little tiny bit. But if you use that big knob to fine-tune, you'd go way past, and then way past the other way, and then way past the other way. So once you get it to like here, where it's like, oh, it's kind of clear. Now you can fine-tune it, and you can get it crystal clear. And that's where I am, right? And that, it seems, Karina, is where you are as well. It's like okay, I want to build. It took me all this big tuning, all this big focusing to figure out the business that I actually wanted to have. I figured that out. That's I'm not even questioning that anymore. Now it's, oh man, that would be amazing, and I want it now. You know, so it's like I did all the work to sort of relax and do my energy work into figuring out the big picture. But now I'm trying to figure out the finer details of the big picture, and I don't want to take the time. I just want it to be here. I just want it to hurry up, and like, why does it have to take time? Just move your ass. I'm ready. Let's do it. And but I'm trying to artificially bring it to maturity before it's ready. It doesn't work. Hector. Indirect is where I'm at, and it does become aggravating. It does, right? Because all you want to do is do your thing. Now, the interesting thing is there have been times throughout the past, I'm going to say year and a half, I'm going to say since the pandemic thing started, because this was an interesting time. And I remember at the beginning of it, back last March of 2020, that's when New York first shut down. And I remember saying, I'm going to use this time to figure out what the hell I want to be when I grow up. That was it. I hadn't even started this group yet, hadn't even thought of this group yet. And I'm going to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. And that's when I was doing this. I was doing this still. I was doing the big focusing tuning knob. And I didn't force it. I just kept going and kept going a little back and forth until all of a sudden I kind of landed on something. And I started this group, and now it's been growing. And even when I started the group, I didn't go like, now, I got to have it now. I was like, I know I want there to be something in this group. I know I want it to be around these people and these kinds of topics. I still don't know what the business is, and I didn't force it. And for months I kept saying, I don't even know if this even has anything to do with my business. For a while I was happy to even think that maybe this doesn't even have anything to do with my business. Maybe this is just an outlet for me. And and it was aggravating, and I'm sorry. It became aggravating once I figured out the business. Then all of a sudden it started to come into focus a little bit more. And it was like I landed on it with that big knob. And as soon as I did, now I didn't want to be patient anymore. Now I just wanted to jump on that fine tuning knob and go, come on, you motherfucker, where are you? I want to get it. It's like I already did all of this stuff. I don't want to do it again with the little knob. And the pain in the butt is that even when you get this little knob tuned in, then there's a little tiny knob. There's another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. We're constantly fine-tuning. We're constantly digging deeper and fine-tuning even more and even more and even more. So we got to get okay with that. Indirectors, where am I? Here we are. Dwelling on tomorrow. Future is my specialty. Okay, so you're a worrier. Is that what you're saying? Right? How am I going to take care of that? How am I going to fix that thing? How am I going to do that thing? Yeah. The other half of that is not how am I going to. It's or the other thing is, when is this going to happen? I'm waiting for something good. I got the answer. I know what the answer is. It's this, but it isn't here yet. When the hell's it coming? Right? Right. I'm going to assume I'm right because I can't hear you. Hector, artificial. This you talk about is exactly where I am too, Bobby. Yeah, that's artificial. I'm just trying to artificially create maturity in a business that I haven't even launched. How can you do that? You can't. I'm trying to force it. And the way I do it is, I know what I'll do. I'll go into project mode and I'll hurry up and I'll get this done by June 1st. And by June 1st, I'll do this launch and I'll have all this stuff ready, and it's like, how am I going to have all this stuff ready? It's like I don't even know what the stuff is yet. I know what the business is and I know what it looks like and I know the thing I want to make, but I don't even have the prototype yet. I don't even have the you know what I'm saying? You can't have the finished sculpture if you haven't even picked the material to build it out of yet. Marsha, most projects I don't put a time frame on. I'm a perfectionist, so sometimes things get changed back and forth until it feels right. Anything else that needs to be done, like immediately I go with what looks and feels right, and then I call it complete. Yeah, see, it's interesting that you said that you're a perfectionist, because just yesterday I was talking about, what the heck was I talking about? Oh, the ultra-independent person who's a perfectionist. And that's a trauma response. It's not even like a wonderful thing to be a perfectionist. I certainly am, and I know that a lot of us are. Artists, a lot of us are. It's like we could just keep touching it up and doing more to it until, whatever, I'm done. I'm abandoning it. I can't even think of this thing anymore. What did you say? Anything else? Yeah. So you don't put a time frame on stuff. See, that's interesting to me, because sometimes I feel like if I don't put a time frame on it, then I'm leaving it open-ended where I could still be working on this 10 years from now. But if I do put a time frame on it and I give myself a deadline, it's kind of just pulled out of the air. I just made it up, and it's not even realistic sometimes. So I don't know what the answer to that is, because to me, it's kind of walking a fine line. It's like I need a kind of a deadline, but it can't be a hard and fast that day kind of a deadline. I think a deadline would work for me once I've got the answer. It's like, oh, I know the material, I know the design, I know the thing that I'm building. It's this, and I know that it'll take me, given past experience, it'll take me usually about 2 weeks to make something like this. Fine. Then 3 weeks from today is this date. That I gotta have it done by then. To me, a deadline is more helpful when it's like I already know the tasks, I know what needs to be done, and I just have to get it done. But if I'm in idea phase, if I'm just in dreamland, and it's like, wow, that's a cool idea, I'd love to have something like that, I will have it by next Thursday. That doesn't work, What's next? What's next? Is that a continuation of your last comment? I'm dwelling on tomorrow. The future is my specialty, as in what's next. That's interesting. So, do you mean that in a positive or a negative way? Because I like what's next in a positive way, like something really good happens. Wow, that was cool. What's next? I enjoy doing that. What's next? What do I get to do next? Or it could be like, wow, that sucked. What's next? Now what's going to happen? I guess it's the inflection, how you say it. What's next? What's next? Right? I don't know. I don't know which way you're saying it. Hector, I think that's why we click, Bobby. Every day I'm working on fine-tuning myself. Then you add how spiritually and mentally we have to let the universe do its magic. All the meantime, being patient but vigilant to the signs. Yeah, that's the thing, is that when we're feeling it's not big enough, it's not happening fast enough, we are stuck in our 3D bodies trying to figure out how to do the work of the universe as a human meat suit. We can't. We don't have that power. We don't have the power to create anything really valuable and wonderful from that posture, from that stance. The posture that we need is I am this. I am amazing. I am God. I am everything. I am the universe, and I have all of that power at my disposal. I just forgot for a minute there, and now I remembered, and I'm just going to relax and let it flow through me. And when it flows through me, all of a sudden, that little thing is going to go off in my head. Ooh, that's it. Now I know what to do, and now I can tinker in my 3D person suit. Right? Now I can get to this work. It's that sometimes we want to jump right to the tinkering part before we've done the magic part. And the magic part doesn't require tinkering and work. But we're taught that if you're not tinkering and working, then you're being a lazy ass. And we don't want anyone to think that about us. That's interesting, Hector. Thanks for that thought. Amy says, I'm the same. I need a deadline, but a flexible deadline because I don't like too much pressure. A flexible deadline doesn't sound too bad, right? So that's that. Wow, Hector, that thought made me realize that so many things I've been talking about lately they all tied together. The posture thing and the magic thing. Anyway, that was interesting. I hope that you guys found this one interesting. It was a little fast, but and not my normal formula. Well, I guess I got brain fog again. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, that was it. So Amy, you get the booby prize unless somebody else jumps in and steals it, because that happens all the time. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks very much. Have a wonderful day. Where's the button? Bye.